So if you've been watching the channel for a while now, then you know that one of, if not my favorite Tesla accessory, my Fanttik X8, which I'm not really too sure on calling it a Tesla accessory because, well, it inflates more than just Tesla tires. And I really do look at it as more of an essential versus an optional accessory. Like, I think everyone should have a portable tire inflator with them. So when Fanttik reached out a few months back and said that they were making a beefier X8 called the X9 Ultra, and if I would want to take a look at it, I said hell yes. Now you can pick this up from Amazon, and if you use my link down below, you'll be able to apply a $30 off coupon, and on top of that, you can use code X9 Ultra 3-in-1, I'll have it on screen here, all caps, for an additional $40 off, so total $70 off. However, the $40 off code is only good until March 31st, so you have like 2-ish weeks from the time that this video goes up. I'm not sure if you need Prime for that, but just in case, I'll have a free trial down below as well. Now, Fanttik did tell me that this is not meant to replace the X8, but live alongside the X8 for vehicles with bigger tires. Think of like Jeeps, or better yet, Cybertrucks. However, after using it for some time, I kind of disagree. Yes, it's going to be fantastic for big tire vehicles, but that in and of itself would make it just as, if not even better, for normal size tire vehicles, like my Model 3 here. Because if it can pump up those big tires, it can definitely pump up your smaller tires, and it'll be able to pump them up a lot more times and much faster because, well, they're just smaller. Now, of course, this is Fanttik we're talking about, so you're getting great speeds and efficiency. Capable of taking a big old truck tire from 30 to 35 PSI in around 40 seconds, or 0 to 35 in roughly 4 minutes. My X8 takes 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes to go from 38, 39 to 42 PSI. Also, the hose on this thing, like, do you see this? This is, for size comparison, this is the X8 hose, right? I can fully fit it in the frame. This is the X9 hose. Yeah, and it just keeps going, and it keeps going. It's like 3 to 4 times as long. You're gonna have no problem reaching whatever size tire you're trying to inflate. It's braided, which is super nice, and it can be stored directly inside the tire inflator. You just wrap it around, and just like that, it's stored away. Now, of course, hooking up the X9, you get the same great live reading that changes in real time. And yes, you can change it to KPA or bar, whichever you use. And finally, 4 save modes that can be changed by setting the pressure and turning the inflator on. So if you have multiple vehicles in your household, you can just set, you know, the M1 to your vehicle, M2 to the other vehicle, and then so on and so forth. So you don't gotta remember what PSI you need to pump the tires up to. Now, in Fanttik fashion, this is not just a tire inflator. You could probably tell by all the ports on the back, but yeah, it's also a power bank or power station. This is definitely too big just to be a bank. Coming in at a whopping 92.5 watt hours, almost 4 times the capacity of the X8. Which, fun fact, actually means this thing falls below the 100 watt hour maximum that airlines will allow you to fly with. I don't know why you would take a tire inflator on an airline, or the legality of taking a tire inflator on an airline, but just in terms of the battery capacity, you can take it on. And it doesn't stop at it just being a big battery, because they actually fixed my biggest issue with the X8, the ports and power delivery. On the X8, there were only 2 ports, a C and an A, which having one A and one C isn't bad. But the C was input only, which, I mean, yes, it's good that at least it charges with USB-C, but that means if you wanted to use it as an actual battery bank and to charge something with it, you're gonna have to carry around a USB-A to whatever you're trying to charge. The X9 fixes this by making the USB-C input also an output, adding a second USB-C out while still retaining at least one USB-A output. I was ecstatic to hear that they actually listened to feedback and they implemented pretty much exactly what we wanted. Now, the power delivery, like I mentioned, has also been upgraded. No longer capped at just 15 watts input and output across both ports. The C1 port can do up to 65 watts input and output, so yes, this can charge at 65 watts. C2 up to 18 watts out, and the A port around 12 watts out. Also, it has a watts in or out reading on the screen while in use, plus the input reading includes a timer for how long until it's fully charged. And by the way, I checked all of those numbers with a separate device plugging it into this, and yeah, it validated their claims. I actually recently went down the rabbit hole of buying a portable like power bank just to keep in like a backpack or something, and the X9 pretty much checks all the boxes for what people like want in a battery bank. 2 C ports because that's what most things are using nowadays, along with an A port just in case for compatibility. One of the C's is an in and out while also supporting some form of fast charging. In this case being 65 watts, which is actually pretty good. It's not, you know, a crazy 140, 150 watts, but on a sub 100 watt hour power bank, it's plenty fast. You'll get a full charge in like an hour and a half. Just like how I think everyone should have a tire inflator like in their car with them at all times, the same thing goes for having a battery bank. Also, it's just nice knowing that I have a reliable power source on the go in case something happens. And then of course you have the light, which is stupidly bright. You can see it's overexposing. A warm, more dispersed light, a cooler, more focused beam light, and a flashing light. And I really like how the lights are implemented into the X9 because let's say you need to inflate your tires on the side of like a darker road, right? You can set it down and turn on the flashing mode and just point it toward like, you know, traffic coming up from behind you. So they're gonna know that you're there. And this is, like I said, this is bright enough so they're gonna see it. Now that is technically something that the X8 could do, but as you can see, the input for your like hose is on the same side, so you'd have to be like inflating and kind of holding it, where the X9 you don't got to do that. But yeah, super bright light, great for a bunch of different scenarios. I honestly did not expect to like the X9 as much as I have. I thought it would just be too big and, you know, really only for big tire vehicles, but after having it and using it for some time, I honestly prefer this shape over the X8. It has a handle. It weighs roughly 9 pounds, so heavy enough to keep it planted, but not too heavy. Like it can still easily pick this up with one hand. And it has actual like thick feet, which if you have the X8, well then you know how nice feet are. And don't get me wrong, right? This is not a video saying that I don't like the X8 anymore. I still think that it's a great, you know, less expensive, maybe as a gift or something, tire inflator. Because, well, the best tire inflator is the one that you always got with you. But the X9, in my opinion, is just the ultimate tire inflator power bank / station that you can keep in your car. Plus, I kept my X8 in my front trunk or my sub trunk, and well, this fits in there just fine, no problem as well. Like I said earlier, you can pick this up from Amazon, and if you use my link down below, then you'll be able to apply a $30 off coupon. And on top of that, you can use code X9 Ultra 3-in-1 for an additional $40 off, bringing the total to $70 off. And that code goes till March 31st. Also, in case you're wondering, there is a carrying bag / case for it. It is sold separately, but I do believe that I have a link that should get you like $10 off. I'll put that down below as well if I can find it. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, then leave them down below, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.